Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we've got a really highly interactive explainer lined up for you. We are setting the stage for a rapid-fire mock exam covering Domain 1 of the PMI-ACP, and we're diving deep into the Agile mindset. So if you're preparing for your certification, or honestly, if you just want to sharpen your Agile fundamentals, you are in the exact right place. We're going to take source material straight from the Domain 1 assessment and transform it into an active learning session. Let's get into it.
Okay, here are the ground rules for our interactive test today. I'm going to present a specific scenario or a question directly from the source material. I'll give you a moment to think it over and mentally lock in your answer. Then we'll reveal the correct choice and break down the exact reasoning behind it. And just to make sure this really sticks, we're going to cap off every single question with a targeted study tip. So, get your minds ready.
All right, let's jump right into our very first challenge. Question 6 asks, a retrospective primarily supports. Start formulating your guess right now. What is the fundamental primary driving force behind an Agile retrospective? Think about what actually happens when the team gets together at the very end of an iteration.
Let's look at your options. Does a retrospective primarily support A, budget approval, B, continuous improvement, C, stakeholder sign-off, or D, contract closure? Take a second, lock your answer in. And the correct answer is B, continuous improvement. If you picked B, fantastic job. The primary focus of a retrospective is entirely internal to the team and their processes, basically ensuring that the next iteration is better, smoother, and just way more efficient than the last.
Let's actually lock this in with a quick study tip. Agile retrospectives are incredibly distinct from traditional project management phase closures. The key thing you absolutely must remember is that retrospectives focus strictly on continuous improvement. They are not administrative meetings for budget approvals or contract closures. They're really meant to be safe spaces for the team to inspect how they work and adapt for the future.
Okay, let's move on to our next scenario and see how this builds our Agile mindset. Question 7, in Agile, transparency helps by... Now consider the fundamental role of transparency. It's one of the foundational pillars of empirical process control in Agile, but what exactly does it help us do on a day-to-day basis?
Here are your options. Transparency helps by A, reducing customer involvement, B, making work visible, C, preventing iteration reviews, or D, eliminating estimation. Now, look closely at these because some of these options, like reducing customer involvement or preventing iteration reviews, literally go entirely against core Agile principles. Go ahead and lock in your choice.
Correct answer is B, again, making work visible. You might be noticing a very funny pattern in our source material today, but let's focus on the why here. Transparency isn't about avoiding work or skipping reviews. It's the exact opposite, actually. It's about bringing absolutely everything into the light. So here's your study tip for this one. In your mind, always equate transparency with visibility. Teams absolutely must see the work, the progress, the blockers, the defects, in order to properly inspect and adapt. If the work is hidden, continuous improvement is basically impossible. Ready for the next one? Question 8 introduces a classic Agile concept that frequently trips people up on exams. The Stacey Matrix helps teams. If you haven't looked at the Stacey Matrix recently, try to mentally visualize what its X and Y axes represent. Let's look at the options. Does the Stacey Matrix help teams A, measure velocity, B, understand complexity, C, prioritize features, or D, manage budgets? I want you to mentally connect the Stacey Matrix to the correct project management metric right now. Which one is it? Spoiler alert, the answer is predictably B, understand complexity. I kind of love the quirky pattern of our source material today, but hey, don't let it distract you from how vital this concept actually is. The Stacey Matrix is not a financial tool, and it's definitely not a scheduling tool. All right, so here's your Stacey Matrix study tip. Create a hard mental link right now between the term Stacey Matrix and the word complexity. The matrix maps out requirements uncertainty against technical uncertainty to help you understand just how complex a project is. So if a mock exam tries to tell you it's for velocity or budgets, you know immediately to rule those out, no question. Let's keep this momentum going with question 9. This one presents a highly practical, action-oriented scenario. An Agile team delivers a prototype to gather user feedback. This demonstrates, think about the behavior described here. Delivering something early, getting the user's thoughts, and reacting to it.
Here are your options. Does this action demonstrate A, predictive planning, B,
feedback loop usage, C, scope freezing, or D, contract governance? Look for the Agile buzzword here that perfectly aligns with the action of gathering user feedback. Have you got it?
You guessed it, it's B, feedback loop usage. Handing over a prototype just to see how a user reacts so you can adjust your next steps, that is the literal definition of utilizing a feedback loop. Now, what's really interesting here is the stark contrast between the correct answer and the distractors. Here's your study tip. Prototypes in Agile are active tools designed specifically for driving feedback loops. They are absolutely not used for scope freezing. In a predictive, traditional environment, a prototype might be a final sign-off to lock a contract. But in Agile, it's an active mechanism to trigger learning and adapt the scope based on reality.
Well, we've arrived at our final mock exam challenge. Question 10. Which principle best supports experimentation? Experimentation is basically the lifeblood of innovation in an Agile environment. But to actually experiment, a team needs to operate under a specific guiding mindset. What is that mindset? Let's lay out these final 4 options. Does experimentation thrive under A, fixed scope, B, fail fast, learn quickly, C, detailed documentation, or D, command and control? I'll pause for just a moment so you can make your final choice in this interactive explainer. And for the grand finale, the legendary B, fail, fast, learn quickly. This caps off our mock exam with arguably the most dynamic and essential Agile concept of the entire set.
This actually brilliantly illustrates the core difference in mindsets here. Just consider the comparison. On the left side, we have the command and control option from our question. It's rigid. It inherently punishes failure, which means no one is ever going to risk trying something new. But on the right, fail fast, learn quickly. This is the Agile way. It actively embraces experimentation because it accepts that early, small failures are literally the most efficient way to discover what actually works. So, here's your final study tip to take away from this explainer. Agile isn't about perfectly avoiding failure through heavy documentation or fixed scopes. It's about learning from failure as quickly and as cheaply as possible. If you aren't failing occasionally, you likely just aren't experimenting enough to find the best solutions.
We've covered a lot today. Continuous improvement, transparency, complexity, feedback loops, and rapid experimentation. So I want to leave you with this provocative thought. Are you just memorizing the letter B today? Or are you truly ready to apply these distinct mindsets to your daily Agile work? The exam is going to test your knowledge for sure, but your team is going to test your mindset. Keep these concepts front and center, and I really look forward to guiding you through our next explainer. Keep learning.